The DJI Action 4 was announced about a month ago, and the GoPro just a few days ago. So of course, you guys want to know what's the difference between the two. Make a comparison video of these two cameras is all I've heard for the last month, really. And to be fair, I kind of did. I made a video on the Hero 11 versus the Action 4, and most of that video still holds because the 11 to 12 and the Hero lineup was mostly like an S upgrade, a lot of software, little things here and there. But today I am going to break down the GoPro Hero 12 versus DJI Action 4. We'll go through kind of everything, and my goal with any of these videos is just to give you guys enough information about both cameras, whether it's image quality or audio quality or just usability features in general, like how is it to actually use these cameras so that you guys can make a decision on which one you want to pick up. I really don't care which one you pick up. I like them both. I think they're both super insanely good cameras, and we live in kind of a weird time where action cameras are this good. Like, I'm looking at the screens right now and they both look so damn good. But at the end of the video, I will say which one I think I would buy if I didn't have either of them. And hopefully along the way throughout this video, you're gonna find those small details that matter more to you. Right now, I'm not telling you which camera is which because it's important to have preference as part of this also, right? Like, some people love the look of GoPro, some people love the look of DJI. I think that that's important to know or to see before you know which camera you're actually looking at. Video quality, audio quality, we'll do a little blind video test and blind audio test. And then we'll talk more about these cameras. I'll tell you which of these is which. Camera A versus camera B. Put in the comments below which one do you like better. Let's go for a ride around Oceanside. Okay, that is what the cameras look like side by side. Camera A, camera B, without, again, saying which is which, just which one do you like? Preference matters a lot because, again, these two cameras, like, they're both so good now that it really is the small things that make a difference. But some of those small things matter. So in just looking at the cameras themselves, we'll break down image quality in a minute here. The first thing I've got to mention is the magnetic mounting system. Now look, the magnetic mounting system from DJI, it is so good. I've used it so much now, and moving a camera from one mount to the next is that simple. I can go from my bite mount back to my pole mount, again, that quickly. Whereas with the GoPro, you have to, thumb screw your camera, pop it off, get it to the new mount, get the thumb screw lined up, locked back in there. And now you're mounted on another mount. Now, they did add in a quarter 20 mount on the GoPro Hero 12, which I do very much appreciate because now I can mount my tripod straight to the GoPro. That magnetic system, man, it is so good. I do have a mount that I picked up from Falcam, which makes your GoPro compatible with the DJI magnetic mount and 4 other mounts. Click up there and go watch that video to see this piece. This piece is also compatible with your Hero 12, and I'm pretty sure after all this overheating testing is done, I will be putting this onto my GoPro Hero 12. I'm not gonna do it until I'm done with the overheating because I know people are gonna say, oh, you added that thing and it messed up all your testing. Oh, none of your testing matters because you put that little thing on the bottom. So I will wait. Number 2 thing in looking at them physically is that the DJI Action 4 front screen is also a touch screen, whereas the GoPro's front screen is just it's just a screen. I mentioned this in my Hero 11 review, but there's times when you have your camera mounted somewhere. Like, let's say you have your camera mounted inside your windshield facing into the car, like you're filming yourself, and you look at that camera and you go, I wanna change a setting. Well, on the Action 4, I can just reach up, I can swipe down, I can change my settings from that front screen, whereas with the GoPro, if it's mounted up there, one, I can't quickly demount it because again, just flip down feet. So I have to either demount my camera or like take the mount off, turn it around, be able to change a setting, and then get my camera remounted. Whereas again, front screen or because this is a magnetic mount, if it was up there and I was like, I really gotta change a lot of stuff, I could just pop it off really quickly, do my changes, and then put that back up there. Front screen and a magnetic mount on the Action 4. In your day-to-day usage of these cameras, like those two things are probably like the biggest difference that I feel. Actually number 3 is probably the thing that I feel the most, and I talk about it a lot, but the Action 4 has a quick switch button, a physical button that gets me to a list of custom settings that I've set up. So I can put a video setting and then a photo setting, and then another video setting, then a hyperlapse setting. I can put all the settings that I use most on my camera into that custom mode, and then with one button, I can jump to all the different settings that I use most. Now on the GoPro, they did make it better when they added in video presets. So I can tap in, I can switch between video presets. But then if I wanna say like, oh, I wanna be in video mode, but then I wanna jump to photo mode and jump to one of my photo presets, I have to get out, I have to slide over to photo mode or time-lapse mode, and then I can go in and I can get to my presets. Again, you have to do it through the touch screen. On here, a quick switch button, physical button. I want GoPro to steal this for the Hero 13 now, because there was no physical changes from the Hero 11 to Hero 12, just software. Unless you include their Max Lens 2.0 in a physical upgrade. They have had a new Max Lens mod, and it is pretty sweet. The DJI Action 4 was the kind of king of wide with a 155-degree field of view. Now the GoPro normally goes to 148 degrees, so having this camera, like in most modes, the DJI was wider, but add in the Max Lens mode, and now you can go up to 177 degrees, which looks like it's so wide. You definitely get like some fisheye effect if you're kind of near things, like if things are near you or it's kind of like a building in the frame, like you kind of see some like warpiness to it, but it is a very wide field of view. And because it's so wide, you can now do Max Lens mode up to 4K 60, and you can do 360-degree horizon lock with Max Lens mode, and that is significantly wider than what the camera alone or the DJI Action 4 can do with that 360-degree horizon lock on. Next up though, in kind of usability of these cameras, we have to talk battery life and overheating. Now from my Hero 11 versus Action 4 tests, I showed that the Action 4 has significantly longer battery life than the Hero 11. The Hero 12 though upped the numbers from the Hero 11 to the Hero 12 in battery life a little bit, but thermally limited modes even more. So we're now seeing at 5.3K 60 on this guy up to 52 minutes of record time in 5.3K 60, and in 4K 120 up to 37 minutes on this guy before overheating. The Hero 11, where's that guy at? The Hero 11, I was seeing about a 22-minute runtime at 4K 120, and on this guy again 37 minutes. So that's a big upgrade when you're just kind of working software features. But at 4K 120 on this guy, I see up to 64 minutes of runtime, and the battery dies. This thing does not overheat. I feel like you would need to be in like really hot temperatures with no airflow and like really, you'd have to do something crazy to get this camera to overheat. Now, I don't think overheating matters that much because most people are not gonna run their camera at 4K 120 or 5.3K 60 for a significant amount of time. Like you're doing that for slow motion footage. So I don't think it matters a ton, but if you are somebody that's like, hey, I always wanna film at 4K 60 or 4K 120 for like really long periods of time, the Action 4, it'll serve you better. But even in like the normal modes, like 4K 30 on this guy and 4K 30 on this guy, GoPro says that we should see about 102 minutes, and I've been seeing about 86 minutes of runtime, which is very impressive. But the DJI Action 4, DJI claims we'll get 160 minutes, and I see between 112 and 120. It's been kind of odd in some of my testing, and I wonder if it's because I've kind of tested in some of my Action 3 batteries with my Action 4. So I think maybe they might have done something with the battery, because sometimes I see like 120 minutes and other times I see about 112, but that's still more than 86. Now in real world usage, what's that look like? It doesn't look like a ton. Like it usually just means for my GoPro, I have to keep 1 or 2 extra batteries versus how many batteries I bring for my Action 4. One thing though that does matter a lot with these batteries is that DJI supports fast charging. So this battery can go from 0 to 80% charge in 18 minutes. And then it takes 50 minutes total to get to a full charge. But man, 80% in 18 minutes is very impressive. The GoPro batteries take about 110 minutes for a full charge. They did not support fast charging. So battery life between the two, this guy wins. Fast charging, this guy wins. How much those matter? I would say the battery life thing doesn't matter as much. Just keep an extra battery or two with you. But the battery, the fast charging thing, you feel that when you're charging your things up, that you're like, oh, that one's like, I could totally go use that right now. Let's get these back on here for this next bit. For the built-in audio comparison between the Hero 11 and Action 4, let me tell you guys about today's sponsor, Epidemic Sound. If you guys don't know about Epidemic Sound, then one, you probably haven't watched this channel very much, because not only are they the leader in YouTube music licensing, but they're also the soundtrack of this channel. That's the only company I've ever used on this channel. So since this thing launched in 2020, every song you've ever heard is from Epidemic Sound. And the reason that I use them is because for $9.99 a month, I get access to over 40,000 music tracks, over 90,000 sound effects, like something ridiculous in the sound effect department. And I can just go in there anytime I want, use their really clever system to help me find tracks for future videos based on the songs that I've downloaded in the past, which is super clever and just like makes life so much easier. Usually I just dive in there, like the first few songs right there, I can just grab one of those and start making my video. But if you guys want to go over there for $9.99 a month, you get a 30-day free trial, and then you guys also get access to every song that Epidemic Sound has, and you don't have to worry about demonetization or copyright claims, all that kind of stuff that you have to worry about on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram Reels, any of that kind of stuff. Epidemic Sound has you covered. Hey, which of these two cameras do you think the built-in audio sounds best from? But both of these cameras kind of have like an audio trick. Obviously the GoPro has the media mod, but they both now have a pretty clever trick. Okay, and here is a comparison of these two audio tricks that each of them have. Again, the DJI Action 4 has the DJI wireless mic system, which I use with my big cameras, but because the USB-C plugs straight into the Action 4, I can use it with my action camera as well. And now the GoPro Hero 12, it can Bluetooth to a Bluetooth headset. Now in my GoPro Hero 12 audio test, when I did this, I've heard this a few times now, it doesn't sound great. To be honest, I don't think I would use this audio. Whereas the DJI wireless mics, I use this audio all the time for other videos with my big cameras, plugging it straight into my A7S III or recording internally to this microphone and then using that with my A7S III. Again, the Bluetooth AirPod hookup to the GoPro, it's very clever. Like, this is way more convenient than having to mount the wireless mic receiver into the action camera. It keeps my GoPro waterproof while the Action 4 loses its waterproof ability when I plug that in. But again, the AirPod audio going into the GoPro, it just doesn't sound good. And the DJI wireless mics, it's a professional system that works with your action camera. And yeah, if I was going to choose one, I would choose the wireless mics for sure. Okay, now let's jump into the image quality between these two, because there is a resolution difference, and both of them treat the image differently. Like, the color science is a little different between the two of them. And in the side-by-side that you guys have been watching this entire time, camera A was the GoPro, and the DJI Action 4 was camera B. Did you guess that one right? Now, they were both shooting at 4K, so I didn't want to put this guy at 5.3K and then this guy at 4K and try to do a comparison, because I was also testing battery run times and all that during this whole side-by-side. Yes, the GoPro can go up to 5.3K 60, where the DJI tops out at 4K. So they can both do 4K 120. This guy can obviously do 4K 60, but then this guy can go up to 5.3K 24, 30, and 60. Now, the main time that you would use that would be if you were to film in 5.3K and you wanted to take a screen grab from your video. It's gonna be a higher resolution screen grab, or you wanna film in 5.3K and then you wanna zoom in a little bit into your subject, into your video, and not lose any resolution. Personally, I pretty much only shoot at 4K on my GoPros to be able to get the longest battery life out of them. I'm rarely taking screen grabs, and I'm rarely zooming my shot. But they are both shooting 10-bit footage now, which is incredible. Like, again, the footage coming out of these things, it's absurd. Whether you like how the GoPro looks or you like how the Action 4 looks, like, they're both so good. And with the addition of GP log on the GoPro, we now have two like real log profiles, or log profile for action cameras. But I would think one thing, like not image quality, but like how you're shooting these things, is that the GoPro has an 8x7 sensor. So you now can shoot kind of that full shot, and then you in post can zoom into a 16:9 or take that same shot, put it on a 9:16, or they now have the mode where you flip into easy mode and you can actually film holding your camera like this, like your camera's mounted normally, but you're filming a vertical image straight to the SD card. You don't have to do anything in post. On the Action 4, they give you this trick little cage. You take your Action 4, slap it in there, and while your Action 4 is in here, it has a pass-through, so it can still mount horizontally like normal. And then on the cage itself, there's a mount right there, and that is how you mount it vertically. So with the Action 4, you have to choose vertical or horizontal, and on the GoPro Hero 12 and Hero 11, you can shoot that 8x7 mode and then choose in post. And the last little bit in image quality, you've got to mention that the Action 4 does have a larger sensor and it's lower resolution. So 4K on a 1/1.3 inch sensor and 5.3K on a 1/1.9 inch sensor. So more pixels on a smaller sensor and less pixels on a larger sensor means that the pixel size on the Action 4 is significantly larger than the Hero 12. Now, what does that give you? It gives you better low light performance. I haven't tested these, like I haven't gone nuts doing like a thorough in-depth night test of these two. I will do that for you guys. I would say that for YouTube and the compression that these things run through before you guys get to see them on your phone, you're watching them on your phone like this big. I'm watching it on my big screen. I can see the difference. Once it's on your phone and it's gone through YouTube compression, you might not see the difference as much. I will work on a night video side by side between these two, like really thorough, in-depth, so you guys can see the difference. Yeah, why bigger sensors matter. That was why when everyone was like, this is gonna be a 1-inch sensor, that's why it was such a big deal, was that if it was a 1-inch sensor, it would look really good during the daytime and then still look really good at night. Okay, let's jump to stabilization between these two cameras. It's ridiculous. Both of them are so good. Rock steady versus hyper smooth. I really don't think that you could say in almost any scenario that one is better than the other. They're both doing digital stabilization where you have to crop in a little bit. So the wider field of view on this guy helps a little bit with that. But then of course this guy has the max lens mod. So if you really are trying to shoot the widest possible field of view with as much stabilization on as possible, this guy with max lens mod is gonna be the best. When you just go side by side, the 12 versus the Action 4, man, if I did side by side and didn't tell you which is which, like good luck telling from the stabilization which one's which. And on the other notes on these two cameras, like they both have really good UIs now, like the actual user interface on both of them is really good. I used to not be a big fan of GoPros, and then with this new update, they kind of changed how you go in and change settings, and I like it a lot better. Again, the quick switch button, that's still like the biggest thing for me between these two cameras, man, is probably that quick switch button. And the magnetic mounting, that's big too. But what else with these two guys? Oh, GoPro added in to the Quick app, I mentioned this in my Hero 12 video, but they added in to where now you can view your footage while you're recording within the app. So you're previewing it, you hit record, now you can still see it. DJI has always had that, it never went away. For GoPro, the 9, 10, and 11, it went away, and now it's back in the 12. And then lastly, GPS was removed on the Hero 12, which the Action 4 never had GPS, but the Action 4 did add in, where'd I put it? Oh crap, where'd I put it? Come on. Probably put it somewhere really safe. I don't know where that safe spot is. There it is. DJI added in this new remote control, and if you are using the Action 4 with this remote control, it will add GPS data to your camera. So the GPS is not built into this camera, but you can buy it with this and have it. The Hero 12, they removed GPS, but there's no current ability to add it back in via something like this. Okay, so which of these two cameras should you buy? I know I'm gonna make people mad with this, but I'm gonna say it. Before I do though, preference matters probably the most. Like these two cameras are so close to each other in so many ways. I think when you look at the footage, you're like, they're both really, really impressive. Both are amazing cameras. And I do think that if you have other GoPro cameras that you're shooting with, adding this into a set of other GoPros makes the most sense, obviously for color science. And if you're just like a big fan of how that looks, you should go for the Hero 12. But the Action 4 has better battery life, better overheating limits. It works better in cold temperatures. The battery lasts longer. Battery charges up faster. It has magnetic mounting, which I love. It has the quick switch button, which I love. And I would say that in 2023, if you did not have an action camera at all, like you were just like coming to me and being like, hey, I don't have anything, what should I get? First, I would tell you, go watch the beginning of this video so you can see preference, which one do you like better? But if I were to tell somebody which of these two cameras you should buy, if you didn't have either of these cameras, I would say the Action 4. And don't get mad at me, like, again, the GoPro Hero 12 is the best GoPro ever made. If you pick up this camera, you have one of the best action cameras in the world. And if you pick up this camera, you have one of the best action cameras in the world. But when I look at all those differences, all those little things, the actual usability of a camera, for me, the things that matter, the Action 4 just wins at. Now I'm lucky, I get to use both of them and I will continue using both of them for different use cases and different times. But like we're going on a trip to Hawaii next week, and while I'll probably bring my GoPro, I'll probably end up shooting mostly on my Action 4. And it's mostly because of what the trip is for and the mounting. Like the mounting for me is so big. I don't know why everyone doesn't have some kind of magnetic mount in their camera now. I sure hope that the Hero 13 figures that out. Really hope that the Hero 13 adds magnetic mount. I'll probably, again, like I said, I'll probably just add in magnetic mounting myself so that I have it this whole time. But I hope the Hero 13 actually adds it built into the camera. And a front screen. I really hope the Hero 13 gets a front screen and magnetic mounting and a quick switch button. Again, things that this Action 4 has. Don't be mad at me, guys. Some of you GoPro fans, I love GoPro. I'm a GoPro fan myself. You guys get real aggressive in the comments. I appreciate it though. I do appreciate your enthusiasm. But Hero 12 versus the Action 4. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Which one of these two do you like better? Which one would you go pick up this year? Or is like this like a sit out year? Like, is this a year for you where you're like, I have a Hero 11. Why would I move from Hero 11 to a Hero 12? Or you have an Action 3 and like you're just thrilled with it and you don't want the 10-bit foot. If you have an Action 3, actually, I think you should go get an Action 4. Just my opinion though. Again, comments down below, ask lots of questions. There will be tons more content coming on these two cameras, and I'll see you soon. Again, I'm sorry, GoPro fans. I love the GoPro. I think it's great. It's one of my favorite action cameras that's out there. See ya.
Hello. Hi, I'm Eleanor and we're going to the pool. We're going to show you how we go on the bike and ride. Go on the bike, ride.
Hey, make it go a little lower. Yeah, there you go. A little lower. Okay, now make sure you talk right to the camera.
How do we make it up? Hi, I'm Eleanor and guess what? We are going on our bike and we're going to show you. Okay, we're going to let you know how we go on the bike.
Hey Turkey, can you bring me the cameras?
Penny?
Bring me those cameras, Turkey.
Penny, you are diving in Vegas.
Come on, let's go. Get on the bike.
Hi.
Hi.